From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. Hang on, we're getting this right. Oh. How was everybody's week? Glad you're all here. We are getting this fired up. We are greetings from New Hampshire. Well, glad you're here. Oh, and look who it is. My hetero life mate. What's up, man?
If I can get this on correctly, that's right.
Take a look in a book reading. Where did you get that old shirt?
Fucking Amazon.
That thing is awesome. How do we sound, folks? Can everybody hear us okay? Do we look good? All that stuff? That's the important part.
Oh.
How the heck are you?
I'm terrible, but I look good.
You do. You do. And isn't really that the important part?
Looks are all that matter.
See, now that's the way I see it as well. So whatever, man. But, Brady Shoemate says we sound good. So that's perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a little while, you're going to hear from our friend Ben. And, already in the green room and ready to rock. Look at him. I love when a guest is early. That's good stuff. So, yeah. And then we got nothing but good stuff for you, folks. So it's going to be a good time. Glad you're all here. We should probably share this to get this party started, huh? Get some listeners good. And
I know.
Yeah, right. We're not very good at this part, but we're getting there.
It's a 5-minute warm up.
It is. And I came screaming in here, locking up brakes and sliding into your driveway. And yeah, we're getting there. All right, let's fire.
You know what? At least we fucking made it. What's your definition of out of ranks?
What's my definition of out of ranks?
Yeah.
When someone says fall in and you're not standing there.
Oh, okay. So
what is your definition of out of ranks? Is there more than one?
It's the same.
Okay. I wasn't saying I was out of ranks. I would say I was
No, I didn't say you were
late to formation. We'll call it that.
No, you weren't late to formation. Dude, you got us going. I was still peeing.
Well, and I really need to. So it's going to be a long hour.
Dude, I wasn't going to make it.
Man, we got Brady here. We got Nathan Einkorn. I think I said that right.
He's going to stay sober tonight. That's a fucking lie.
What a week, man. That's a lie. What a week. Nathan, do you still do jiu-jitsu, man? I never see you there anymore. I hope to see you once in a while. Oh, we're dinging. We're making noise, all kinds of stuff. Who else we got? All kinds of good folks. So I'm glad you're here. Very glad you're tuned in. Really appreciate it. It's going to be a hell of a show tonight. Kind of excited about it. Our Never Forgotten. We finally got the names of the 4 soldiers that we lost in Lithuania. So they'll be on Never Forgotten this evening. We'll be sure to say their names out loud. We got Ben coming up and no Allie, no Coach JP tonight. They're both.
Bro, he's the only one to fucking get me. I'm so pissed about that.
Why?
Because I was already suspect on it.
What's that? Oh, yeah. On the April Fool's thing.
Fucking guy. Dude, you know how many people I just nodded and just said, Because did you see Gordon Ryan is fucking, what was the Gordon Ryan one? Oh, Gordon Ryan died.
Yeah. And you're like,
Gordon, at least half a dozen people asked me, did you see Gordon Ryan died? I'm like, Nothing on the 1st of April. You never believe anything on the 1st of April. It doesn't matter what it is.
But yeah, so never. I really liked your Never Forgotten, or not Never Forgotten, your Carl.
It's fucking special.
If you got it handy, you should bring it up.
I do. I literally need to click done. That was done.
Do your thing.
Okay, we're ready. Fucking Carl.
See you in jeans very often. New pair of jeans?
No, because if I walk outside, bro, they're gone. I have to wear different fucking material when I'm at my place.
I despise jeans. I almost never wear jeans.
I love fucking jeans, bro.
I will.
Dude.
I have a couple pair that I wear just because I'm obligated. But
Obligated? Who are you obligated to wear jeans to?
I
or
do
for?
not like.
Does
wearing
Sandy have
jeans.
like a denim gets me going thing or what?
Well, there's that too. I mean, do you blame her? I mean, you've seen me in jeans, so you know. I mean, damn, I fucking rock them. But yeah.
Sure.
I can't stand wearing jeans. I don't know. It's just a thing. I just don't like it. Whatever. It's just my jam. I just don't. They're not comfortable.
I like jeans.
What do you wear when you ride your motorcycle? We already said
Board shorts and fucking slippers, bro.
Yeah.
I prefer a fucking basketball jersey.
Yeah.
Just shirtless.
Celtics. Dude, basketball.
Celtics.
I don't know. I'm just the drummer from Tool always wears a Celtics jersey, so that's what made me think of it.
You're again, you're not selling me anywhere.
No,
on
I
this.
know. You're obviously a Nuggets guy.
I'm a huge Nuggets fan.
How are they doing?
We're fighting for. Are we going to be in the 8th seed or the third seed?
I love
right now we're 4.
That our hockey team and our basketball team are both running and gunning for the play.
Killing it.
Love it. It's a great
Did
time.
you
to be a
also
sports
know
fan
that
in
we
Denver.
have a baseball team?
We do. They suck balls, but yes.
me and my son were sitting there yesterday morning, and on the news it was like, okay, so the Rockies are off 1-5, worst team in baseball.
Yeah,
and they listed off all the categories of the worst in already. Fuck me. Thank God for the Nuggets.
Joe Allen says assless chaps.
All right. There's only one kind of chap. That's what makes them chaps. They're assless. Just saying.
Why do you got to go and make it awkward like that, man?
Just saying.
Otherwise, they're pants.
Yes.
Why, dude? Why?
Because every time somebody's like assless chaps, I'm like, well, what the fuck is an assed chap?
Pants.
So it's not a chappy.
I see you do all the ranching stuff. You would know that. I don't spend a lot of time wearing chaps. I wouldn't know that shit.
Fucking Private Carl.
Private Carl.
All right. Private Carl this week is going to be Ronan, in his career so far has sniffed out 109 landmines and 15 other kinds of unexploded ordnances.
What kind of private is Ronan?
He said sniff, so you know it's hairy.
I'm hairy.
It's not our canine friend that we would think. So Ronan is a rat. He works in Cambodia.
Okay.
And he's they go through months of training for this. They go into areas and run grid square sniffing and find bombs, and they're supposed to not set them off
because of their size.
Clearly, he's found 100 and altogether. What is that? I need math. 124.
Damn.
124 altogether, and he's still alive. He's still sniffing, bro. He is also now in the Guinness Book of World Records. Did you read that part? I read the whole.
I did not.
The more you read of the article.
No, I did not.
Dude, whenever we get a Carl article, I read from top to bottom because usually in the last paragraph there's always something.
Gold.
Where I'm like, what the fuck? So either way, I'll read the first paragraph.
Awesome.
Landmines remain an ever-present danger on battlefields. That's for both soldiers in active conflict and civilians once a war is over. Millions of anti-personnel landmines are buried around the world, and while groups work to remove them safely, in recent years they've turned to a novel tool to help rats. And one rat, based out of Cambodia, blah, 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 blah. Ronan.
I like Joe's comment. Can you imagine what they went through to figure out how to train these rats? How many did they blow up?
Like, who was the fucking guy that was like, I'm going to train rats not to fucking blow up the mines? Like, I get 100 fucking million people would come up with the idea, send rats out.
How do you?
But
yeah,
detect them
Joe
and
Allen,
not blow them up.
I want to be the rat trainer. Yeah, and exactly. Who's the guy that sat there in a boardroom?
They got fucking Splinter, bro.
Dude, look, Joe Rose likes your shirt too.
Dude.
Yeah, they do. They have Master Splinter. But I mean, I agree. Who's the guy that walked into the boardroom? I'm like, all right, we've been tasked by the United Nations or whatever it is. We need to eradicate landmines from the Cambodian countryside.
Yes.
And that dude walked in and he's like,
so
I'd like you to meet Ronan.
But if you think about it, right. But if you think about it, so it said in here, that, like if they were in conflicts nonstop from it was like 1950 something until like 1990 something. And even when Cambodia is not in conflict, it's Cambodia.
Yeah.
So there's just, I guess, billions of fucking boom booms all over the fucking place. And I personally have like a little thing with boom booms. I don't like them fucking things.
Yeah,
so,
I'm down. I get it. Thank God. I totally get it. So one of the things that I never got to do as a medic, I've got to drop rounds through mortars. I've got to, I didn't get to push the button on a paladin, but I got to, drive a tank. I mean, I got to do pretty much everything.
You flew that A-10 once too.
But
I saw pictures of it.
Yeah. You've probably gotten the chance. Have you ever set off a claymore? Like a live claymore?
Yeah.
That's got to be fucking gangster, man.
Fucking cool, bro. I haven't done it in a cool situation though.
Oh yeah.
See, and it hasn't even been like
always in training.
I've had some really fun flashbang experiences. Like I've just had flashbangs to play with before.
Do they have claymore simulators? Is that a thing?
I don't think so. Not ones that go boom.
No.
Or I mean, they have the simulator, but like it's click, and then you laugh the privates at their face in the claymore and shit. But no, we got fucking we got flashbangs in country one time. We had too many of them.
Oh yeah,
they're just sitting around. So we went fishing with them for a local
in
village.
Those waddies, in those the things they dig.
And they were like, "Wow, you guys caught more fish than we do in a month."
I was just gonna ask, are there fish in those things?
Some of them, yeah. We got a lot of fish out at one.
No shit. Do you know how many fucking skin infections I treated on soldiers for swimming in those motherfucking things?
You had fucking dumb Carl get in that water.
Yes,
dude. The closest I'm gonna stop before I tell everybody why I'm going straight to hell. But the only thing I ever did, like, I would walk up to a stream sometimes and I would face it, but I would never get in it.
So when the war first kicked off in Iraq in 0304, we went the first 6 months and people didn't have like I swam in something once. Joe Allen says, yeah, exactly.
Bro, when Ben comes on our first fire base, we didn't have showers. Mm-hmm. The first thing we got was an outside fucking one of them like camping bag showers, and some dipshit put fucking diesel in it. Like day 2. Rather than filling it with water, filled it with a diesel can or in a water can.
I'm hoping that dude didn't spend a whole lot of time in country after that, after the ass beating he got. Al-Assad. So I got to Iraq in March, I think it was. And I think my first shower had to be like May, June timeframe.
I think I was around somewhere 3 or 4 months.
And it was the same way. It was a bag hanging from a rotor blade.
A rotor blade. That's kind of cool.
Well, but you had to have, it was a 2-man operation. So you're standing there in your flippity floppities and your sunglasses with your towel on the edge of the.
Oh, yeah.
And the dude in his boxer shorts is having to turn the shower on and off while you wash your ass.
Fucking battle buddy, bro.
Well, I think you've met my crew chief, Steve Kramer, once or twice.
Yeah.
The black belt. Yeah, he just got his black belt. That dude took it upon himself. He didn't bring a towel, so he drip dried for the rest of the day. Yeah.
It took him the whole day?
No. No, but he just wanted an excuse to walk around in flip-flops and a watch. So love Al-Assad. Who the fuck loves Al-Assad? I've never seen anyone. Dude, that should be a bumper sticker.
Oh, man.
Love Al-Assad.
Joe was there too?
Fuck that hole. So what has changed, Rob? Absolutely nothing has changed, Joe. Absolutely nothing.
Man.
That's an awesome. So, good for fucking Ronan the Rat. I mean, now I'm gonna follow
dude,
along.
124. So I even read
cool.
There's a sub article from the Guinness Book of World Records on how he distincts or is distincted or whatever special in the Guinness Book because he makes a fucking difference.
Imagine the number of kids' lives he saved.
I started, I rabbit holed. But the fucking amount, the amount of civilian casualties and injuries that happen in Cambodia every fucking year due to
landmines,
IEDs, some form of boom boom is terrible. But I didn't go to Iraq, but Afghanistan has also, been at war for fucking ever.
Are there landmines everywhere there too?
There's fucking shit everywhere, bro. There's caches. There's just shit everywhere.
I know there's UXO everywhere.
Yeah.
And I love telling
you just like stumble across shit and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And you're afraid to pick anything up off the ground. Like there's a fucking, like somebody drops their Leatherman. You're like, I don't know whose that is, but I'm not picking it up.
And it fell out of your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not picking that thing up. Yeah, I'm not picking
man.
fucking anything up off the ground. And I still to this day, like, unless it's like on the super secret compound property, I'm not picking it up off the ground.
No, I think we're clear. We've blown up enough shit here that everything that's unblown up should be boomed by now.
Dude, a buddy of mine had his foot popped off in Korea. Damn, fish? Really? Holy shit, they're everywhere. Wow. Fuck that.
Some things we can't repeat.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, it's 6:15. We want to make good use of people's time, so I think we should. Joe, what do you think? Should we bring Ben Merrill on?
Yes.
You ready for this?
Joe have it? Oh yeah, he has it all. I forget when he's not sitting here that he can do things.
I know, it's kind of nice.
How are you, sir?
Can you hear us okay?
Councilman Merrill, how are you, sir?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Voice of an angel.
Oh, is that like some cool background, or you actually got the ocean behind you and like on some pier or something?
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Fucker. Are you at work?
Yeah. So
isn't that a terrible job?
Good Lord, man. Look.
All right, Ben, I know who you are.
Here
Rob
we
knows,
are.
Rob knows a little bit, but we'll just have you introduce yourself a little bit. Give us a snapshot of what you do, military career, who you are.
Why you are.
Yeah. So I was in the Army, infantry back 2002 to 2006, and got out. One of the things we'll talk about, things you take from the Army, but we'll take one of those things. One of the, to be my own boss was put in me very early, like to not have that person in charge. And so I started my own business in 2007 and haven't really looked back.
I like it.
What is the business? I'm assuming you're a pimp.
Yeah. So in 2007, we were very smart. The market was peaking, so I got into real estate investing. In 2008, we realized what a bad decision that was. It hasn't all been like wild success stories. So ended up with 3 houses that I didn't want, that didn't have the value in them. I went from there, went into a digital sign business, into a pooper scooper business. I was looking for anything that there was a need for. And it wasn't until 2012 I got into water sports. I started, I saw this board. It's called the Fly Board. And it was new in 2012. It's a guy that rides on the jet board and flies up in the air. And I decided to bring that to Destin, Fort Walton Beach, where I'm at. And we added pontoon boats and jet skis, and Power Up Water Sports has been in business since 2012. So that was the first one that stuck.
Wow. Well done. Very well done.
It wasn't the first one that worked.
Yeah. We know all about that kind of stuff.
I've been known to be on some ventures before.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah. Rub it in. Rub it in.
Oh, that one, she bought a Harley. Anyway, so
Ben, so apparently you tolerated this for a length of time?
Seth was one of my brothers. I grew up, I had 2 brothers, 2 sisters. And in the Army, it's like, you get along with some people, but in the infantry, you just get some extra brothers. And Seth, for all his faults and all his...
I have a list if you want to compare.
Well, he has them too. We're real lucky his wife isn't on.
I've been married to my sweetheart for 22 years. And Amber is, the best way to describe Amber is just a pure, straight edge, just wonderful, nice human being. So
yes.
So Seth immediately
made friends.
Yeah, makes friends if you can. So, but you know what? At the end of the day, Amber sees that good heart in people, and so despite the language, despite the, it's beyond language, right?
Yes.
All of, she still.
Yes, I do.
Loves him. So.
That's amazing, dude. That's funny. So, did you guys deploy together?
Yeah. We so we went through when we I can't remember what company you started in Bravo, right?
Started in Bravo.
So we started in Bravo company. I started in Alpha, immediately went to selection, went to scout section. He ended up there a few months after me for a while, and then we both ended up back in Bravo company and deployed with them. And then I bounced halfway through for Lurs, and then came back, and he got out, and I went to across the road.
Look at you guys. That's amazing. Yeah.
So this is like privates together.
Oh, okay.
So the mature, well thought, responsible, all those wonderful things that was a version that they got at me at that time.
Ben, one day where you and I are going to smoke a cigar, and I'm going to get some of the details of this previous relationship.
So,
say it again.
Yeah. I'll tell you about some parties that Seth used to throw.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, in case our spouses are listening, we'll hold off on that so we're not on air for obvious reasons. So we love nothing more than a veteran success story around here. That's the kind of stuff that we really, really like. Tell us about how, say another veteran is looking at getting into business of some type. What advice do you have to offer to a veteran who's thinking about getting into business?
And I like to look at it like sometimes I'm a big dummy, right? I don't know what I'm doing. And the one thing that I know that works, that's tried and true, is I put my head down and work. I listed the businesses I tried. There was no theme to that. There was no like, oh, that's your expertise. I mean, from real estate investing to a pooper scooper to a digital sign business, and many others in between. And then I jumped on water sports. At the end of the day, the desire to be my own boss was really the driving. And then if I put my head down and work, things seem to work. If I invest in something and leave it to somebody else, it might work, it might not work. If I put my head down and I believe in something and I work it through to the end, I seem to have a much higher success rate. So, I mean, that's what I would tell people. Like maybe find something that you are extremely good at. Maybe find something you are, specifically skilled at. Go for it. Something that you love, something that you're passionate about. But at the end of the day, I haven't seen just putting in the work, resulting in, a bad ending. So yeah, put your head down and work.
Well said. Very well said.
Yeah. I agree with that. Every project when I've like started doing, I'm like, oh, you guys can do this, and all over. That first getting going, I think, is really got to be.
Yeah, I'm discovering that. I'm very much discovering that. And most people would not, after the first business fails, they'd be like, well, I guess I'm not going to be a businessman. I guess I'll go fucking get a job as a cop or something. And yeah, but you've made the run a couple of different times.
Yeah.
Why stay in?
Well, the big dummy, right? The stubbornness. I don't know. You could look at it over time. I've come to see it like, that's what I always told myself, because when I think of it like that, I'm not missing anything, right? When I'm like, if I was like, man, I'm so smart, I'm a genius, this is going to work, and it didn't work, have been detrimental. But when I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. And when something doesn't work, there is a time I think you have to like realize and let go of something. But once I see a little bit of traction, and that's such an important word to me in the things that I do, once I see that market response, once I see that customer response, and they're like, yeah, I'll be here, and there's no stopping me. That's when I like, pedal to the metal, and I just keep going. So we've done a water sport rental business. We've done 2 pontoon and jet ski boat businesses, a catamaran business, and then my brother and sister and I just opened a bar, where we rent the back, and that's been a completely different experience. So I've been running boats since 2012, but now we have the boats in the back, which I felt like at the very least I can make that work. But developing this bar in a place where people come and hang out and making it fun and just meeting all the regulations, that has been a completely different experience.
Did you say you got boats in the back and booze in the front?
Yeah. I mean, we do enjoy what we do. That's for sure.
I didn't know about the bar yet. So you've also taken on a new venture outside of business. You want to talk a little bit about that?
It's pimping, isn't it? You can tell us. We're totally cool with it here.
Well, so when you run boats and jet skis and a charter boat and things like that, it's not as big a deal. When we got this property, which is in downtown Fort Walton, I put the boats on the water, but we started developing it. And that's when you really start to work with the city, with a government agency of some sort. When you start developing a property, when you start putting in plumbing and electric, and you have to meet all these standards, you have to work with your local government organization. And I had never done that. I was inexperienced. And so I just powered through. So I got myself in trouble. I got fined. And so my response to that was to go up there and fight. And so I went into the city and I just butted heads. And I went up the chain of command and I talked to this guy, I talked to their boss, I talked to their boss. And eventually they said, you can't go above us. We're not changing anything. You have to bring it before the city council. And so I went, I'll run for city council. And so I did. I ran for city council and I won. And so now we're making changes because I believe what I'm doing is an amenity for the city. What I'm doing is raising the tax base for the city. So when I go to my city for help, when I go to my city to do stuff, I feel like I should have help. I should be treated with customer service. That's what I do as a business person. I provide that to my customers. So my city is a great city. The people are great, but I got frustrated and wanted to make a change.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, I love it.
So you need to consult for the VA when you're done.
Yeah. So after councilman, are we thinking something more county, state?
So man, tell you what.
That was a quick answer.
Amber would be like the best first lady, bro.
Amber would be the best first lady.
See?
She would be.
You're doing a disservice to her by not running.
So as soon as you get it, but I find when you get in these positions, especially after I won, you have all these people that support you, these people that voted for you, and that they put signs in the yard. And so they immediately, my first city council meeting is tomorrow. My first.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. I didn't realize this was recent. Congratulations.
This just happened.
Dude, big congratulations.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I swore in last Tuesday, so it's been 6 days. But people are coming up to me and they're like, "So, mayor?" So, and I'm like, "Well, let's see how
not yet."
The reason to get in might have been a frustration, but I mean, honestly, when you decide to actually take this on, the driving force wasn't like retaliation or it was like, yeah, I want to fix this. But as I got involved and I really decided to run, I looked at what this takes, and I mean, it's a huge undertaking. If you really do, and this is what I think about government at this level, and I know very little, but I feel like anything, you can be very lazy in it, and you probably aren't going to get fired. But you could also be proactive and do something. And I feel like a lot of people are lazy in it. So I don't want to do that. The things that made me frustrated, that made me run, I want to fix. And therefore, for the minimal compensation that's offered for these types of things, actually none in my city is offered. I don't know how much time I'm willing to give, and I'm not willing to do it half-ass. So we'll see how the first 4 years goes, but no huge political aspirations as of yet.
4 years. I like it. Let's see.
We'll wait till day 7.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah. We'll call him tomorrow and be like, all right, motherfuckers, here it is. Who wants to be vice president? That's awesome, dude. I love hearing these stories. A lot of people listening. What do you call it? For veterans, I know there's a lot of resources available and whatnot for veterans starting businesses and whatnot. Did you tap into any of those resources available at the Small Business Administration, all those resources that they claim are available for veterans? Did you tap into any of those, and were they useful?
Resources outside of that, I don't know for business. I did work with the SBA, and I'm sure that there's additional. I mean, there's been things that weren't necessarily provided solely because I was a veteran. I've gotten such a great response to that from people. We were a veteran-owned business. There are benefits to that, but I can't say for certain that I went a veteran-specific avenue to start my business. I know they're out there, but I've definitely leaned into. I'm a veteran-owned company, and I mean the biggest thing for me with is having a team around you. I couldn't have done this without my wife. I couldn't have done this without friends and family that have been supportive. I tell you, the stress and the frustration and we've messed up, we're going to lose everything, the thoughts that come into your head, it all, you have to have a support system. You have to have some people around you that are like, that aren't just like blowing you up, that aren't just like, hey, you're the man, but that tell you like, hey, it's going to be all right. Like, what do you need to do? So I see a lot of veterans kind of isolate out there. And the biggest advice I could have you take something on is like, you don't need 100 people around you, but 2 or 3, 4 people that you can just lean on, that you can just come and flop down and say, what have I done? And they talk you off the ledge a little bit and get you back on track. That's been huge for me.
That's cool. I like hearing
I
stuff
do
like that
too.
Yeah,
for sure.
We've had a dozen guests on here of starting businesses and whatnot, and overall, most of the people, correct me if I'm wrong or you disagree, have said that most of those resources are nice to know that they exist, but haven't been overly helpful. They're like, oh, we'll offer you mentorship. We'll offer you, if you need help, somebody reviewing your business plan to start your business, things like that. But they end up, not being overly useful as far
everything
as
I've dove into. If I would have gotten a fucking part-time job and spent those same hours doing that job, I could have had more money,
more success
for the project I was on than fucking dealing with the project, especially if it's VA.
Well, yeah,
which all of our veteran benefits are through VA.
Exactly right. Running for political office. We've had a couple different folks, Fab has come through here.
Yep.
Love that fucking guy. Does he know Fab?
No, I don't think so.
What do you call it? And tell us about running for political office and the challenges presented there. There's a lot of veterans that are interested in running into the, running for their school council or running for PTA, things like that, try to get their foot in the door and kind of be a part of their community. We're very, very big here about being a part of your community.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm no expert, but I'll tell you what I did. I had what caused me to run. I had the initial push, right? And mine was frustration. It doesn't have to be. You just want to get involved. But from there, I went to different organizations in the city. I went to like local coffee clubs. I went to my chamber of commerce. I reached out to, for me running for council, I reached out to prior council members and I sought advice. I listened. I'll tell you, I never shot a gun before I joined the Army. And in basic training, I shot expert. And somebody told me, and I knew nothing. And they're like, you did good. You performed well because you didn't have all these ideas in your head that you knew what you were doing. You just listened. You did what we told you. And so I take that approach. And when I don't know something, I don't pretend I know it. So I went out and I just sought the advice of people, of leaders in my community. And I said, what are we looking for? What's needed in the city? What's going on with the city? And then how do I get people to vote for me? And I got great advice. And I think for every place that you go to, obviously you're going to have the regular things, mailers, door knocking, but go to the events and talk to the people. There's people that are tied into the city, to the school board, to that. And so the best thing I can say is go talk to those people and listen and do what they tell you to do.
I love that word.
Yeah, because it's not done enough.
No, because people go ask for advice all the time and they never listen. I don't want to say never. But how common is it to be like, oh, what should I do here? And you go ask somebody who knows the answer or has done it before, and they give you some advice, and then they go and do the opposite. So I think that's a great takeaway.
I imagine running a local business yourself that you probably get asked this kind of stuff quite often.
What?
The Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
Oh yeah. Well, no. What? Ask what?
Advice on how to start up a business and get things rolling.
A little bit. Usually jiu-jitsu questions though.
I would hope so.
And they rarely listen.
Yes, I know. I'm one of those. I feel like you're looking into my soul right this second. But yeah. Oh, so that's how you do it? All right, I'm not gonna do that.
That sounds great. So here's what I was thinking. Okay, you should do that, man. It's what you're thinking. You should do it then. Fucking A.
Well, man, he's all yours.
Right. Before we we're over on time almost.
Just about.
Before I run over way more and get fined. They don't find me either. They threaten. We give you about 2 minutes. It's if there's any notes you had before that you wanted to talk about, if there's any random subjects you wanted to bring up, now's your time. We give you about 2 minutes. We try not to interrupt, but we commonly do. We usually don't have to cut you off on your time, but you got about 2 minutes.
Well, from everything I've done, I would say we talked about putting your head down at work. The idea that I'm a big dummy always really spawns from just the humility, the willingness to listen to people that have good advice. I'll tell you those. But for me, what's worked for me is doing something that I'm passionate about. I get into something, I get passionate about it. I'm passionate about filling my bar with people, not because I want to see the dollar signs, but I really take it. My measure of success is like, man, people like to come out here. When somebody comes and says, hey, this is our spot, this is our regular spot now, we're making this happen. It just lets me know I'm on the right track. And that really fills my cup. That really like works for me. So doing something that you're passionate about, it's not money motivated. Obviously that's a marker for success, and we need that. You need that measurement and, the benefits that come with that. But if you're doing something just for that and you're chasing that versus your happiness, and contentment, I think you'll have a harder time, because I think that will lose its allure. It'll lose its effect. But if you're doing something that you love, that you could make less money doing and still want to do it, when you're making more money doing it, that's just a perk. So find something you love, find a group, a spouse, a partner, a friend that you can confide in, because other people, and you listen, you heard me, they don't listen. So when you tell people that can't really commiserate, I think that's why Army guys and military buddies and stuff like that never lose that brother. It's like when I could reach out to somebody, Seth, we haven't talked that much over the last decade or two, but I feel like if we called each other up, we'd pick up and we could just go into 15, 20, 30 minutes and just be like, I know, because we experienced something similar. And so you need to find somebody in that, if you're doing, no matter what you're doing, whether it's a job, a business. But yeah, I won't ramble on too long, but that
was great.
That was perfect.
You did good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking with Councilman Ben Merrill from, correct me if I'm wrong, Destin, Florida. Is that right?
I'm in Fort Walton Beach, which is neighbor to Destin. Yeah.
What is the name of your bar?
Downside Waterfront Bar.
I mean, I don't drink alcohol, but I mean, I go to Florida once in a while. So yeah, sounds like I'll have to stop in.
So
perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Councilman Ben Merrill. I can't thank you enough for your time this evening on being on From the Ashes and a part of About Face Media. We sincerely appreciate your time. Thank you for your service to your nation. And thank you very much. We also have
Safety Brief
for tolerating homeboy here.
Oh yeah.
And thanks for passing that torch.
Yeah, we also have Safety Brief.
Yeah.
So what's your item for Safety Brief?
Oh man.
Pay attention, folks. This is the guy you want to hear from.
I tell you what, if you can't afford bail, then you can't afford to fight. And if you can't afford another kid, then you can't afford to fuck. And don't tell my I did that one for you, Seth.
That's gonna have to be a bumper sticker, a t-shirt. I'd rather it be a billboard, but I mean, that's the best response we've ever gotten from a guest for the Safety Brief. Usually it's like,
and he saved his one curse word.
Yes, he did.
He did all the way through.
We went from PG-13 to R. Just well done, man.
He's like, Amber's gonna listen to this later.
That is we've had a lot of guests come on, and it's always the same thing. Oh, make sure you wear a rubber, wear a helmet when you're on a motorcycle.
Don't add to.
You said the same things.
The fucking population,
but you just said it better.
Yeah.
Ben, thank you enough for being a part of the show. We really appreciate it. It's nice to meet you.
See you later, brother.
Have a great rest of your night. All right, so the audience is aware. Allie is out tonight.
Allie's out.
Coach JP is out. So with that being said,
do you want me to coach you on air right now?
I do.
You ready?
I do. Yeah, hit me.
What you
got
for you?
All right.
It's a lost cause.
So tell the audience, our listeners, and keep in mind people are on radio, so can't see. But tell the audience about our side project, what it is that we're doing, and what it is and why.
I was really worried as you start looking at me with those wondering eyes and like asking.
You can't help but gaze into them, can't you?
So we've touched on a lot recently because of the growing interest in healthy lifestyle, homestead sort of things, self-sufficiency, self-protection, all these other things. So we're expanding on my ranch and doing a bunch more, or just really just expanding and doing more of what we already were, but more serious and bigger. So we're running more birds. So we already run chicken, duck, turkey off and on. So we're going to just increase our numbers by
A lot.
100 or 2 times as many as we have now. And then we're going to bring on pork and ribeyes. So we've raised some beef here before. We have not done pork yet.
I'm looking forward to it.
I know. And I think it's the one I'm going to maybe enjoy the most at moments. Like piglets are kind of cute. I have bulldogs that like a piglet.
They breathe like it.
They breathe like it. They eat like it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fuckers.
But yeah, I mean, the point being, when you and I talked in January at Waffle House that day, we talked about, setting the example in our community and trying to be more of a presence in our local community for others. And I love that.
Inside community, and I preach that, like, if there's one thing that I've dove into, it's improving community and being of service to your community post, service. And I think there's a ton of us out there doing it. And I think there's a ton of us that could be doing more. And the more we do, the more other people do. It's just like the fucking COVID, bro. One person gets it, 2 people gets it.
When you said do more, what do you mean? Tell me more.
I mean, service to your neighbor, like,
keep going.
Also, like, one of my big ones I was trying to lead into is, I think we all know I'm a fairly conservative dude, but I'm also like really, I care a lot about our environment in a balanced approach. So we're doing a lot of regenerative pasture work, maximizing the ability, or maximizing our water that is whatever water God's giving us, and however many acres, maximizing each drop to count as 5, and not to be wasted, and just improving the health, welfare, and everything for environment, people, and the environment, and the animals that we have. Like, so everybody's 100% on pasture. Even our chickens are on pasture, ducks are on pasture, turkeys are on pasture, pigs are on pasture. Obviously, the cows are on pasture, but either way, like, that is not the norm. So the norm is, like, there's a big swine farm, and there's just nut to butt pig inside our Boston butt, and it's gross, and you end up with shitty hormones passed on because of stress. You end up with all these nasty antibiotics in an unhealthy environment that produces an unhealthy product. So trying to do everything we can, all encompassing, to where we're touching our food that goes into our food for later, So we've also got started on our hydroponic fodder system. We had somebody on the show that brought something up that we thought was really cool, and they take shipping containers. I can't remember the name of them.
I don't remember
Box
either, but
Farm or something like that. But they take shipping containers to, like, FOBs and third world countries where there's minimal, soil to grow for fresh produce, and they.
Is that the interview that really flipped the switch for you?
That one really flipped it, because I looked at it and I was like, man, there's so many people out here fucking doing this, like, in all these different ways, and a ton of them. I like Ben. I'm kind of an idiot. I'm a big dummy. I'm a big dummy, but I know some things about some things, and putting them together, we can figure this shit out. And I also, there's somebody else I follow online, another person that's doing the similar thing, homestead sort of situation, but large scale homestead. So producing for others, not just themselves. But he said something that really clicked and I really liked. And he said, I've came to the conclusion, and we have the mentality here, that everything that has been done before, and every way that it's been done before, is inherently wrong.
Okay. Keep talking.
Now, that doesn't mean everything everything always, but in general, like, I don't want to do it like we've raised poultry for the last 30 years and destroyed our environment, our product of food, our quality of food, things like that. We don't want to do it like that. We want to do it differently. And also, like, every piece of soil is different than it is next door or down the road or in the next state or the next country. So everything you have to do has to be exactly for your environment. So, I mean, inherently, everything that somebody did before was for them and their situation, not for us and ours. So trying to think outside the box and, create enough boo-boos to learn a bunch.
It's funny that you say think outside the box, because I don't think you are. I think you're thinking right inside the box, and I think you're thinking about your family, your community, yourself. I think you're being healthy yourself. You're wanting your kids to eat well.
Yeah.
You're wanting, and I get asked all the time as we progress with this, are we going to be raising vegetables as well? And nope. There's some inherent personal responsibility that folks have to take.
Right.
But yeah. But you
but
and I
also,
go ahead.
What's really cool is we have started becoming more friendly, I guess, with one of our neighbors, our direct next door neighbor, who runs very similar concept, completely different products. So they're running an aquaponic system for gardening and to raise their fish. So they're raising tilapia and vegetables at the same time in a huge indoor thing. And then they got a couple of hoop houses going on, and then they're going to start with meat sheep. I don't want to do sheep.
Tilapia in Colorado.
Yes.
That's fucking mind blowing.
There's tilapia there are hundreds of tilapia. I think I could measure it. Oh, let's see. It's 350 meters that way.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's bananas that they're raising tilapia in the middle of fucking
nowhere,
Colorado. That's crazy to me.
So as far as plant-based stuff are concerned, our first focus is plants that feed our other animals. Mm-hmm. So I've been studying some different types of grass and products that we can use a fodder system for. So we run a hydroponic fodder system, 100% off grid. So we're going to solar it, outdoor, greenhouse, solar, entire hydro system. That's the goal.
I've been keeping something from you, and I'm kind of excited tonight to reveal it on the show. Joe, you want to throw that picture up there for him?
What's it? I think I might know what it is.
You do know what it is. So you absolutely do. So this is our new livestock brand.
Oh my God.
So what you're looking at, that is an iron mill, followed by a 2, followed by an upside down iron mill. And so the name of the radio show that you're on right now is called From the Ashes. And what you're looking at is the future. And that is ashes to iron.
Oh my God, that's dope. Dude, this whole time we've been watching the show, I knew that there was this down here, and I knew it was branding stuff, and I know that's been your project.
Yes.
So I just tried not to say anything until after the show.
Well, it came in the mail today.
That is fucking outstanding.
And we are official.
Holy crap.
You are looking at ashes to iron. This is all because of you.
That's a really, really cool brand. I'm pumped.
It's going to be. Grace freaked, man. She's like, this is awesome.
How much did she have to do with this?
So the whole family, Grace had a lot, probably 85% to do with this, because I don't know shit about brands. So she jumped in. She was kind of helping me. She found this one. It was the most very economical. It fit what we were trying to do. And then once we got it, we've been trying to figure out how to name it. And Roy Gagney actually came up with the name. And once I showed him this picture,
that's slick.
So as of now, Ashes to Iron is the next stage in what you're sitting in right now.
So when was the last time you got branded? Oh, you think I'm kidding?
No, Grace.
Have you been branded?
Not yet, but
you haven't been branded? I've been branded before.
I've never had a brand before. So now I have a brand. So we have a brand.
Oh, motherfucker.
And we are doing
I've never been branded with branding irons.
We're about to have 2, a cold and a hot.
Which one do you think you want to take?
Well, from what I'm learning from our animal expert, Grace, is that horses get cold brands, livestock gets hot brands.
Well, usually horses are treated much better as livestock. So probably whatever the horse gets is what we want. But
yeah.
Oh.
So I this came in the mail this afternoon, and I immediately text Joe. I'm like, dude, can you put this on the screen? And he's like, yeah, I can see what I can do. And yeah, dude, this is fucking. I'm very excited at how this is going to move forward.
I am too.
Now let's get some fencing strong.
Look, I would totally shed a tear, but we all know I don't cry. So,
but just I thought the name fit perfectly.
Yes, it does
with what you got going on, what we got going on together. I think it's going to be I think I'm looking forward to seeing that on a cow's ass.
Yes.
Thanks, Joe. You're awesome.
That is awesome.
The point being, folks, is, we like I said, we sat down beginning of January and decided we needed to take a more active role in our community part. We bring all these resources onto this show, nonprofits and things that you as a veteran can do, and just resources for the whole veteran community. And when we sat down in January, we're like, yeah, we're checking out and being advocates for all these resources, but we're not engaging in these resources. And now it's time to engage in these resources. And it's time to be a part of it. And that was the catalyst for this whole thing. And he's right. When we talked about, had that Farm Box Foods, I think is what they're called. That's probably not the right name.
We're not right, but that really, like, they're doing something really, really, really cool.
I watched it flip a switch in you, and you're like,
really so I was like, wait, there's so many little dumb things I do know how to do. And we got some space. We're not using it. We're not maximizing things. I've been kind of fucking kicking rocks out here and like playing a little bit here and there, but like kicking rocks, not being serious. And legitimately, like, one of the things, like, we all know it's a big thing because we're seeing it on the news all the time. The health problem that has happened in America is disturbing, and a ton of it can be related to degeneration of soils and all these crazy chemicals are put in our food, and it's craziness. I have never used a drug on my property. I haven't had to in 6 years.
I love it.
There hasn't been one sickness, one disease, nothing. So why are we juicing every single thing we eat with all this stuff that is just really not needed?
When they can just wander around aimlessly in
your
backyard.
Wander around aimlessly.
Plenty of food back
maybe
there.
Some nerd with a solar panel can pump some water around and grow more tasty food.
Is there a name for this venture? Yes. So, I mean, well, no, the venture itself as a whole doesn't have its own name. But yeah, the brand itself is going to be Ashes to Irons in recognition of the show, and something I can pass down to my family and whatnot. We can pass on to our families. And yeah, that's exactly the whole point, is we're just trying to get ahead of it. So I love it. I'm super excited, dude.
I know.
When that came in the mail today, I about peed on myself. I was so excited.
That is so slick.
So good things are going to come from it. And
it makes me feel comfortable and confident that the good decision was made because Grace was involved. For those of you who don't know, Rob's daughter is a fucking badass.
She's got her moments. She's very much got her moments.
She's very helpful. She works on a ranch. She welds. She's not dumb, and she can hook a trailer better than Rob can. So
that's not saying much.
Either way, we appreciate her help. This is 2 weeks in a row that we've gotten help from Grace.
Like 3, depending on if you want to count the day that she came out with the trailer.
I guess 3 weeks in a row.
Now that we got our own trailer.
Dude, it's bad when you're like, fucking young daughter has to save our ass.
She was amped. She is really, she's 100% in on this.
I can
intern.
Tell.
She's more than an intern, guy.
Yeah,
she's kind of driving the train. I'm more of the intern. It's funny. She hits you up on the side too, doesn't she?
Yeah, every once in a while. Oh yeah.
You guys have a language you speak all your own that I don't totally grasp on the concept sometimes, but yeah. All right. So that being said, now that this is moving forward, what do you got for the safety brief this week? And I don't know how you're going to top Ben. There's really no way.
I don't know. Be careful when choosing your friends. When you choose a friend, you choose doing things with them, and you never know why you might end up, out back in the pasture catching a branding iron. So choose your friends wisely.
I didn't like that side eye. I didn't like that side eye at all. But I am looking forward to wearing this. So yeah, I don't know. I've only ever seen that fucking stupid ass show Yellowstone. Twice. Does this mean like
that's not where I got it from? I got branded way before fucking Yellowstone. I got branded when I was 21 years old.
For what?
Infantry.
Oh, yeah. Is it covered with a tattoo now, or is it still accessible?
It's accessible.
Crystal's seen it?
Yeah. You usually can't. It doesn't have a color skin different. You can see it, but it doesn't like jump.
I'll just take her word for it that it's there. That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, you can see it too.
No thanks, man. Gang showers. I like to shower by myself now.
Right, dude. You know what's gonna be great is we're gonna brand this side so that your name is on this side and the brand is on this side for folks. For you who don't know, I really do have your name on my ass. So
the reading rate. So folks, check it out before too long. And probably in a very short time here, you're going to be able to buy beef, pork, chickens, and turkey right from here. So, and it's going to continue on.
And we will add some stickers and swag and
boy, that's coming too. I haven't told you about that's stuff working in the background as well. But yeah, everybody's got their own cue Pornhub music.
Well, dude, I cannot tell you how hard it was for me to not make comments when Ben was on talking about water sports. Somehow I made it through the whole show without a water sports fucking
being
joke.
A good boy. Is that what you're
Clearly not. You were in class with me today talking about bukakis and shit.
Fuck. It's not exactly the way I worded it, but yeah, I mean,
there was
similar.
Bukakis and paraplegics talked about in fucking class today. So no, that was not a good boy, but
that was a fun jiu-jitsu class too.
That was a hell of a good time.
Step bro, please. I hate that that's got my name on it, but whatever.
I wonder how many listeners, at least 99%, that ever read something get confused because they're like, Rob Williams. Rob Williams. Why is he saying stupid shit to himself?
You know that when I pull out of here, when I leave the studio, my phone just fucking blows up with text messages from
goes
people.
Forever, right?
Yeah. People asking questions. But in the meantime, anyway, hey, I don't know. Joe, are you able to put those names up on the screen?
Oh.
And I think you're set, man.
It is that time where Seth tries to uncramp his degenerate legs.
Oh. All right, folks, check it out. So we come to that part of the show that, it's a horrible ending to the show, but I mean, it's necessary. We come to the part of the show we call Never Forgotten. And we talked about this a bit last week. Well, the names of the soldiers were recently released. In a recent training accident in Lithuania, 4 U.S. Army soldiers were tragically killed when their M88 Herc armored recovery vehicle sank in a swamp area, and they have now been identified. So, ladies and gentlemen, Staff Sergeant Jose Dunez Jr. from Julia, Illinois, Staff Sergeant Edvin Franco, PFC Dante Tianino, and Staff Sergeant Troy S. Knudsen Collins, from Battle Creek, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, when your family sits down tonight and says their prayers and you get ready to say your prayers over dinner, please remember that your nation's military, your nation's first responders, every single time they put those boots on and they step forward, they're putting their lives in danger. Everything that they do is a dangerous thing. Please, please keep them in mind. Keep them in your prayers. Keep our nation's soldiers, the first responders, police officers, paramedics, firefighters. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. You don't know how much it means to us around here. And we will remember those 4 names for forever. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. We sincerely appreciate your time. Please visit our sponsors, Combat Flip Flops. You need some new flippity floppities. Summer's coming quick. Please do not forget to visit Thigh Huggers. If you go to Thigh Huggers and use the code ONESHOT, all in caps, you'll get a 30% discount. We get 15% of that, and they released their new line today. And keep that in mind when you go to Combat Flip Flops. Use the code ABOUTFACE, all caps. You're going to get 30% off. We get 15% of that donated to our nonprofit, and so you're putting other veterans on the air and giving them microphones. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of From the Ashes. We're going to pass the mic over to Kendra for PTSD and pageants. Do not change the radio station. You're not going to want to miss what she has to say. It's pageant season, which I didn't know, but apparently our vice president did. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Have a great rest of your evening.